Welcome to One on One, the podcast for you. If you only listen to one podcast, let it be this one, because this one is brought to you by One U. It is my pleasure to welcome Josh. Hey, Josh.
Hi.
And Ryan. Great to see you.
Hi, Kathy. How are you?
Love the intro.
And we are 1 week away from Summit. So what does that mean?
That means that my team, the team that we are on, Ryan and I are on at Realty ONE Group, has been desperately trying to put this event together. And I think we put the final check marks on pretty much everything. So now we're waiting to fly to Vegas.
Well, I'm constantly in awe of the amazing work that such a small team, small in number, but certainly not small in talent or passion or work ethic, because what you guys do is simply amazing. And I can't wait to get there and do the fun things that my talent allows me to do, like steam shirts and things like that. So we are in all seriousness, we are super excited. It is called Summit because it is that climb to the top. And that's what we'll do next week, both in inspiration and education. So I'm kind of on the east side. I'm kind of on the education side. Josh, do you want to talk to our listeners today a little bit about what they can expect from a marketing perspective, from inspiration, how they'll be inspired, what you hope each person walks away from when they leave Summit this year?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a big question. We can go off of some of our previous events, which were big successes, and I think that's one thing that this company does very well, is when we do something well, we then one-up ourselves. And so we are now doing an event that we've never, ever tried to do before. This one's bigger, better, with amazing guests, amazing keynote speakers, breakout sessions that I know you and Mark have been heavily involved in to really, really get our attendees that get the most out of their education while they're there. And I don't want to say this, in opposite of the education, but it is a very fun, big party as well. It's a time for all of us to come together and be proud of the brand that we work for.
It is. And I think aside, and I probably shouldn't say this, but I think aside from the incredible talent, and when we say big talent this year, we mean really big talent.
Yes.
That everyone is going to be so inspired and so happy to hear from. But what I love most is the networking. What I love most is when I walk through and I hear people sharing ideas and I hear people talking about the business. And the thing that I love about this event is how positive it is.
Yeah.
And we all know that we've been gone through a shifting market, and I think we need to take a shot every time we say shifting. But I think we're coming out of it, and to have for us to provide the opportunity for people to share the good things about our industry, which is what my experience the past 4 years at this event has been, just incredible. And just think about this, we're the one. And if everyone that left the event walked away with one referral, they would more than pay for the event.
Yeah. No,
they
totally.
Would almost double. And that was always in my career with my agents. I've always said that should be your intention. Go have a good time, party, learn, have fun. But your intention needs to be, I need to see how many referrals I can get to make more money so that I don't even hesitate going next year.
Yep. And I think that that's something, we've talked about that when we're doing our initial plannings for Summit, a year in advance. That's one of our main goals with this event, is for people to come and obviously enjoy themselves, have a great time, see what this brand is all about, network with their peers, and also, people that they've never, ever met before, but still wear the black and gold and might be 3,000 miles away. But they're doing that while having a good time and walking away a better real estate professional. I think that's our end goal.
Right. And what I love is the experience of people meeting face to face. I think so much of our network is on social media, and I love hearing, oh my God, you're taller than I thought.
Totally.
Or, it's so good for people to have that face-to-face time together. So a couple of things: we cannot talk about the speakers because we both want our job. right? So we can't
But
talk about
I
that.
gotta interrupt you really quick. There's a reason why we cannot. That it is so serious that I mean, it's like I don't know if you're a Marvel fan, but I mean, we are literally being blindfolded and not being allowed to release any information because this list of speakers is that good.
It's that awesome.
Yeah,
Yeah. And a lot of times they don't even tell me
yeah.
that I leak information.
Part of me thinks that they're lying to us, and it's just going to be a whole
I
new
know.
list of speakers when they come out.
I know. I mean, for a good glass of bourbon, I might tell you who's speaking. So
Yeah.
that's why they don't let me know anything. And it honestly would not have to be that good a bourbon.
Mhm.
But seriously, we're with the inspiration part
Yeah.
is in a package and it's guaranteed. Tell me a little bit about what kind of swag, what kind of cool stuff. Can you talk about any of the cool stuff, or is that a surprise?
No, I mean, there's definitely going to be some surprises that I don't want to give away because I mean, I'm sure you remember the first time, I want to say it was 2017, 2018, where we did our first quote unquote pop-up one shop at Summit.
Yeah.
And it was small and it was inside the actual convention center and it did really well. Everyone loves our branding and our apparel. And it's, you know, each year it's progressed. Last year was a full-blown shop, and this year it's even bigger with even newer product. We have I mean, for those that are actually listening, you will get a little sneak peek. We now have stuff for toddlers. We now have stuff for dogs. We now have a whole new line of clothing for men and women. There's going to be new accessories, new board games. Everything is branded. I mean, it's going to be massive. So I would bring your credit cards.
Nobody does it better than you guys. So I can't wait. In the past, guys, from skateboards to game boards, we've been able to ride it and drive it and roll it and play with it. And I can't wait to see what's next.
It's definitely, it's one of the more like, I think fun, it's a lot of work, but it's definitely one of the more fun parts of the overall event that is, like our team really enjoys working on it, whether it's, you know, the actual design work to me building out the content that we're going to promote it with. I mean, it is a very, very, this is no disrespect to real estate, but we really truly do not feel like we are working in the real estate industry when
We're not.
we're designing these things. Yeah.
No. And that's what's so cool about it. So bring your credit card and bring an extra bag, right?
Yes, but and this is another, we may also be having branded luggage that you could buy your clothes and put it in and ship it home with you. So whether you're prepared or not, you will go home with your hands full.
Cannot wait for that.
Yeah.
Cannot wait. So can we talk a little bit about the education?
We can, yeah.
We listened to the feedback we got last year, and we love your feedback. Positive, negative, we need to know what you're thinking. So last year we heard that there were not enough education sessions and they were not long enough, and we agree.
Yeah.
So thank you for being our voice back to leadership. So what you're going to find this year is going to be more education events and longer sessions.
Yeah.
So you'll have time. It won't be as rushed. We are going to ask you to be on time. A couple of little things logistically that I think are going to make a big difference is better signage. So you're going to be able to find the sessions a little bit easier, and there will be no sales in the sessions. And what we mean by that is that is going to be in the marketplace.
Yeah.
Any partners that you want to find, any tools, resources for purchase that you want will be demoed and will be in the marketplace. The education sessions will be that indeed.
Yeah.
They will not be sales events. They will be education. So we do invite you to attend those. Bring your notebook, make notes. You know, just think about this. If you could get one lead through a referral, and then maybe you could close one additional transaction, which is, gosh, that's just so, that's thinking so small. But if you did that and your average commission is $8,000 to $10,000, you're going to walk away from Summit potentially $16,000 to $20,000 wealthier.
There you go.
So that's the mindset that you come with. We're going to party, we're going to have a good time, but this is about building our business. This is about being better at what we do. This is about being number one in the industry, number one in your market. So having said that, we're excited about the education. We're excited that once again, we're going to get to honor our top producers at a special event. We're going to have a pretty cool gift for our top producers because we do appreciate you so much. And we're honored to do that and just excited to have a good time.
Yeah. And, to add on to a couple of those things, we also have our third annual One Walk, which will be the morning of registration. So that I think it's Monday, February 20th, which is really cool. The whole entire gang gets together and walks the strip, and it's a great photo moment. It's a great charity moment where we're partnering again with the Beverly Carter Foundation. So please, if you're already there, please join us for the One Walk. That's before registration. We also have the VIP experience for those who upgraded their tickets, and they're going to have a whole curated couple of days at Summit at the Aria, and there's some pretty cool stuff involved with that. We have the women's luncheon, which is already sold out. I mean, it's a jam-packed 3 days, Kathy. It really is.
A couple of things about that, and I'm so glad you brought that up. The Beverly Carter Foundation is so dear to us. It's a very special part of what we do. And for me personally, safety for our industry is so incredibly important, and it needs to be top of mind. And especially with social media, we're exposed to so many more, and I hate to say it, but I'm going to, predators.
Yeah.
And what the Beverly Carter Foundation does is so important for our safety, and we are just really, really pleased and proud to be a part of that. I personally am glad that we're going to walk the strip instead of stripping the walk. That's a whole another thing. I am really, really proud of the international contingency. We have over 48 guests coming from across the water, and that'll be the largest contingency that we've had thus far. We've only been an international organization for a little over 12 months.
Yep.
So I believe that is incredibly powerful for us to do that. And can we talk a little bit about a fashion show?
Oh, yes, please, Kathy. I want you to talk about it.
I have to tell you, the first year I missed it because I had a conflicting event. I had to leave to prepare for the top producer. And honestly, the first one I went to, I was like, oh my gosh, because nobody can prepare you for that.
No.
I mean, nobody can prepare you for the personality and the just the awesomeness of what our people do.
Yep.
With a little bit of swag.
Yep.
It's quite impressive.
And some of them a little bit of liquid courage, but that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, and you've got to remember, some of us at 3:00 are on Eastern time, and it's really
That's
6
true.
But, so that is completely appropriate. So I don't think we could possibly pack more goodness into 2.5 days.
No, I mean, it is so much fun. It's so much work and so much fun. You are so happily exhausted at the end of all of it. I don't want to speak for you, but that's truly how I feel.
It is, but I will tell you, I am depleted by the end. And it's that you just go on adrenaline and emotion for those days.
Yep.
And a big part of it for me is getting to see our people and getting to, to love on the tribe and getting to get feedback and hear from people. And when you take that and then you add to it some of the incredible speakers that are going to be there, that are going to be so uplifting and so inspirational.
Yep.
It's overload.
Yeah, I agree. And, I just thought of this, Kathy. We have not had a summit event since we launched this podcast. So we're going to get to talk to some of our listeners one-on-one and see truly what they think.
Yes.
So
yes.
I'm excited for that.
We need more to subscribe. We should have a booth, and that's all I'm going to say. But nobody maybe next year they'll give us a podcast.
Ryan and I have a couple things up our sleeve for while we're at Summit. So
yeah, we'll see what we can come up with while we're there. So maybe our listeners will be able to maybe find us around Summit.
If you see the two guys with the microphones and the matching shoes
running around, that's going to be us.
Well, and I'm really glad that they're going to get to meet Ryan, because he's like the secret ingredient to this. So I'm really glad that he's going to get some.
Well, he's the voice of God. I know he's been with this company for longer than any of us, but you just hear his voice on this.
I mean, I will say, and I also want to throw you guys this kind of curveball, like being with the company for so long, it's like seeing Summit from the first year we did it, where we literally we still kind of planned it ourselves, but just the fact that we've been able to grow the show, to grow this conference to what it is today is one of the craziest things I've ever experienced.
Yep.
And to you guys, I want to throw a curveball to what would you guys, each of you say is maybe the one thing that each of you are looking forward to most seeing at this summit? Like for me personally, it's kind of seeing the international growth. We have our little international row that I like to call it, that each international franchise will have kind of like their own booth, their own little area. And I think seeing it grow from where it was last year to what I've read and what I've seen of what's going to be there this year for all our international attendees, it's going to be pretty crazy.
Yeah. I think that's a hard one
What's
to
yours,
top.
Josh? What's yours?
I think the cliche short answer is the lineup of speakers that we have. I'm beyond excited to see some of these people. But I do every year. I'll keep this short. Every year, I think for me, right before registration starts, I think our team kind of like collectively comes together, and it's like that moment where it's like, it's a big sigh of relief for us, where yes, the event hasn't started, but we have successfully built the event, if that makes sense. And I think I really like just stepping back and just seeing, and I'm not a graphic designer, but I know that it's a collective team effort, and that's usually my favorite moment.
And having said that, I would love for us to feature on a very, very soon after this event, the minds behind that. And I would love for people to hear from the team that is the absolute magic behind what's going to happen next week.
And I will give a little teaser to our listeners. We will have, many of you already know them. It's a husband and wife that work with Ryan and I on our team. It's Dustin and Kimmy Robertson, and they truly are the backbone behind this event. Like we would not be discussing this event without the two of them, and we are going to bring them onto this show and really hear what it takes. And it's going to be a cool episode.
My only fear is we give them so much shine that they're going to get taken away from us.
Yes.
We need them.
So we actually kind of like need to tread this very, very lightly, because we don't want to lose Dustin and Kimmy.
Yeah.
They'll just blur their faces out.
For me, and I say this so sincerely, for me, having been in this industry for so long, and Ryan, where you've seen the evolution of the company, for me to see the evolution of the industry, and I'm just going to be really direct. This is still, for the most part, a very old white male dominated industry.
Totally.
And the thing that literally sets my heart on fire is to sit in the audience and experience the diversity of our brand. And it's not just race, it's everything. It's culture. It's such a welcoming environment of inclusiveness. And I'm so proud to be a part of that, where everyone is welcome and everyone is loved and everyone is made to feel of value. And that's part of our golden. We talk about be golden, be you. And that is one thing I'm so proud to be a part of a brand that is so inclusive of age and race and nationality and just every single thing. That's so exciting to me to experience it in the room and see it.
Yep. I think to sum it all up, to sum up this event, it's, very emblematic of our brand. We try to bring and incorporate as much of our brand into this 2 to 3 day event. And it's a lot of work, but it truly is a wonderful event and a very, very, very successful one if used wisely.
Josh, did you just summit?
I'm sorry?
Did you just summit?
I did, yes.
On that note.
Yeah.
On that note.
But yeah, Kathy, I'm excited to see you in person next week. I think this is going to be, I know for a fact it's going to be our biggest and best event to date. So for those that are attending, we're excited to see you too. We're excited to talk with you guys. For those that are not attending, you are really missing out. Honestly, get prepped for 2024, because I'm sure it's going to be even bigger than this one. So yeah, we're ready, Kathy.
I'm ready. Thank you. Thank you to all our listeners. Please go in and subscribe. The more the merrier. And we just appreciate each of you. And we look forward to bringing you throughout 2023 the best of the best on the One-on-One podcast.
Thanks, Kathy. I'll see you next week.
Thanks. See you later.
We thank you for joining us today on another episode of One on One, a Realty ONE Group podcast. We are powered by One.you and ask if you have suggestions, recommendations, or questions, please email learning@realtyonegroup.com. And remember, pay close attention to the details, listen to understand, not respond, and always be a resource, not a sales pitch.